One last visit to Dynasty Warriors 3 Extreme Legends to tie up all those loose ends. I have 32 weapons to obtain, some missing items, and some bodyguards to level up. Let's just get straight into it, going in character select order. Chao Yun's 5th weapon is found in the original Nanman campaign on the Shu side. For this one I have to defeat every enemy officer. Only the ones shown on the map though, as sub-officers don't count. Since the enemies on Very Hard are ultra powerful and your own officers are made of tissue paper, you don't have to worry about them stealing any kills. That's why I just hang around in the centre north outside the HQ waiting for the officers to come to me. I have covered Nanman so many times now, but aside from Meng Huo's many assaults, the officers I need to defeat are Chu Rong, Yong Kai, Dong Tunei, King Mulu, Dailai Dongchu, Wu Tugu, Meng Yo, and King Duosi. The latter two and Chu Rong don't really move from their starting positions in the south, so I still have to travel to them. By the time the final officer, Chu Rong, is defeated and the item appears, I've been in the stage for nearly 50 minutes. The weapon appears south of the Shu camp, west and up the hill from the centre-east bridge. The War Dragon grants lightning to Chao Yun C5 and C6. My mountain pouch gets upgraded to plus 17. Guan Yu next. His is found on the original Fan Castle. I have to defeat 4 officers in order. First is Pang De, then Lu Xun, then Gan Ning, then Lu Meng. However, while fighting Lu Meng, the enemy catch up to the second player Guan Yu I left standing in the corner and kill him. So I just do it as Guan Yu, having forgotten in the months between recording his stuff and Extreme Legends just how good he is. I managed to take them all out in order faster than I would have as Lu Xun. The weapon appears in the northeast corner of the map. I do push it a little close though, finishing with less than 5 minutes left. The Divine Dragon has no element, but grants Guan Yu the red hair without needing to equip the saddle. My mountain pouch gets upgraded to plus 19. Tang Fei's 5th weapon is found on the Shu side of the original Mount Dingjun. This one took a few attempts just for me misunderstanding the instructions. I have to get a horse and ride north down the hill. You do not have to kill the officers on the way down like I originally assumed. It's still tough with the horse getting stuck on corners and the risk of you getting shot off. I have to take the eastern fork and ride all the way down to get the report Shu's downhill attack is successful. After that I have to kill Cao Hong, who hangs out near Cao Cao at the north end. The weapon appears just southeast of the bridge leading to Cao Cao's northern territory. The Serpent Blade adds flame to Chang Fei's C6. For Zhuge Liang I have to be on Shu's side of the original Chebi. Absolutely no way anyone accomplished this as just Zhuge Liang in one player. I have to get 1,000 kills. It took me 34 minutes as Lu Xun just hanging around and refusing to capture gates while spamming that death C4. If anyone did manage this as Zhuge Liang alone, that's incredibly impressive. I have to spend nearly 10 more minutes taking out all the other officers before I can get the chance to collect the weapon, which is around the northwest between the northwest and centre-west gates. The Griffin Feather adds the wind element to Zhuge Liang's C3 and C6. The BG Tiger amulet is upgraded to plus 8. With Liu Bei, his is on the Shu side of the original Jia Ting. This one is easier than we've had so far. Wait for Ma Su to get surrounded in the west, then I have to save him, which for me just means defeating Xin Pe. The weapon spawns around the north end of the centre path. The Dragon Star adds lightning to Liu Bei's C5. Ma Chao's takes me even less time. Shu's side on the original Chengdu. I have to kill either Liu Xun or Liu Han before Pang Tong dies. Liu Xun is in the north path and I take him down in about 2.5 minutes. The weapon spawns in the southwest corner of the map in front of the castle wall. The lightning spear adds lightning to Ma Chao's C4. To make up for getting 2 easy ones in a row, Huang Chong's takes me longer than anyone else so far. His is found on the Shu side of the original Yi Ling. I have to prevent the fire attack by Chu Ran and then defeat Lu Xun. Since Chu Ran doesn't appear right away and both players start at the west end of the valley, I defeat Xun Shangshang and her soldiers first. That is when I discover something that would have helped me so much several times earlier. You can save your progress in the middle of a stage. I never realised this because the option to save was hidden behind the quit option in the menu. All this time I thought I had to do every stage in a single sitting. Wherever I quit and save, I can just keep reloading whenever I die. I try my luck at getting Lu Meng or some of Lu Xun's officers out of the way before Chu Ran appears, but I don't kill any. When Chu Ran appears, I take him down, but in that time, Gan Ning and Lu Meng are getting dangerously close to Huang Chong, so I run back and deal with that. But my Lu Xun gets killed fighting so many of them at once. It turns out I never needed to protect Huang Chong anyway, as they all gang up on Liu Bei instead. However, I save while Liu Bei is close to death. So this results in me restarting several times, hoping this will be the lucky attempt where I take out those officers and soldiers after Liu Bei. Every time I make decent enough progress, I make another save. 40 minutes in this stage with several game overs and reloads, I finally cleared the area, wiping out Lu Meng and Gan Ning's units. but Lu Xun is still in the northeast corner and that place is packed. 8 minutes later I still haven't made it across the bridge, but I kill Lu Xun to make the weapon spawn. But then I get killed right after before I can save. I take him out again 5 minutes later and the weapon is around the southeast. Then a further 13 minutes just to take down Sun Quan. The Mystic Blade gives Huang Chong wind on his C6. My BG Elixir upgrades to plus 12. And after all that, I'm going straight back to Yiling for Jiang Wei's 5th weapon. I have to allow the fire attack and then wait for the enemy to trigger the Stone Warrior formation ambush. After that I must defeat Chu Huan. That takes 14 minutes, saving and reloading included, to happen, but you know all that stuff I said before about having to defend Liu Bei from 1,000,000 soldiers plus Lu Meng and Gan Ning? Well, I have to do all that again. Chu Huan hangs out in the northeast corner, near Sun Quan and Lu Xun too, but killing him only takes me a few minutes. The weapon is in the northeast near the large boat. It then takes me a further 20 minutes to finish the stage. The Starlight Pike has no element, but wearing it also grants Jiang Wei the effect of the Defender item for free. Wei Yan now, and guess what? It's pissing Yiling again. Thankfully I'll only have to play it once more after this and it won't be the Shu version. I have to defeat all enemy officers, sub-officers not included, and gate captains. Well, there isn't much to say about this. I spoke about the difficulty of Yiling enough, and especially its powered up versions of Lu Xun, Lu Meng and Gan Ning. I die once in 2-player and then just decide to do it all as Wei Yan. Deaths included, the whole thing takes me 56 minutes before I take out that last gate captain. The weapon appears around the centre, just north of the Shu camp. The Twin Stars has no element but grants Wei Yan the Way of Musou items effect. That just leaves Pang Tong to complete the set of Shu weapons. His is found on the Shu side of the original Che Bi. This one is a more simple one with just 2 steps. Step 1, ensure the fire attack succeeds. Step 2, kill Xiahou Dun. I made it sound simple, but this did take 25 minutes. Pang Tong's Musou attack was invaluable for dealing with these huge mobs of enemy soldiers. The weapon appears on the southeasternmost bit of land just before getting on the boats. The lightning staff adds the lightning element to Pang Tong's C5. And that's all of Shu's weapons obtained. Time to move on to Wei, starting with Xiahou Dun's 5th weapon. His is found on Wei's side of the original Jia Ting. For this one I have to wait for Ma Su to be surrounded and then defeat Wei Yan, Jiang Wei and Ma Chao. This one I just couldn't stop getting killed in. It amounted to 40 minutes of me at the starting spot throwing out C4s until the last of the 3, Ma Chao, finally dropped dead. 3 minutes later I cycle through all the built up reports until the weapon finally spawns. The weapon is in the centre path at the southern end where it bends. The Tempest Sword adds wind to Xiahou Dun's C6. Dian Wei next, whose weapon is on the original Wei Hefei. First I have to trigger the Taisha Sir Death cutscene. I next have to defeat Lu Xun, but I have a little problem where I left Dian Wei in his starting point and it got overrun, leading to his death. I take down Lu Xun next time. The third step is to defeat Gan Ning when he shows up, so I use the time spent waiting to deal with those invading the HQ. It takes 18 minutes of dying to reach my first milestone in that defense, removing Lu Meng. But I have another issue, Cao Cao dying, so I work on killing anyone approaching him. Another 16 minutes later, Cao Cao is safe and I kill Gan Ning. The weapon appears on the very path I fought Gan Ning, which is very good as Sun Quan has approached me himself and I didn't want to leave him alone with Cao Cao and Dian Wei while I looked for it. The Beast Axe has no element but grants Dian Wei a Hexmark saddle. And now for Shu Chu, the original Wei side of Hefei Castle. For this one I have to defeat all playable officers. That's Lu Meng, Lu Xun, Sun Shangxiang and Gan Ning. It's 20 minutes of failure before I beat Gan Ning, only 5 more for Sun Shangxiang. But that gathering in the centre of Lu Xun and Lu Meng's forces is a nightmare. The very hard soldiers know of Lu Xun's C4 and have a good chance of timing their swings to knock you out of it. 16 minutes after Sun Shangxiang's defeat I take down Lu Xun. Once he's done I've defeated so many soldiers that Lu Meng falls less than a minute after that. Good timing too, as the enemy have caught up to Shu Chu and are kicking his head in. Cue 20 minutes of fighting on or around the northern wall before I consider it safe to look for the weapon. That's over 450 kills there. The weapon is in a crate behind a fence all the way in the southeast. It then takes a further 11 minutes to take down Sun Quan. The Earthly Mace gives Shu Chu's C4 the flame element. Next in line is Cao Cao's on the original Wei Mount Ding Jun. I need something more simple after that one. This one is it. I have to defeat Huang Chong in less than 5 minutes. Not too bad considering he's probably the first officer you'll run into. Of course I have the issue of still having to play the rest of the stage, but there are worse stages on Very Hard. The weapon appears on the winding path to Liu Bei, southwest of where Huang Chong starts. Blue Steel lacks an element but gives Cao Cao the effect of the Musou armour, an item I don't have yet. Xiahou Yuan now, and his is on the original Tong Gate on the Wei side. For this one I just have to trigger the Han Sui defection. The weapon appears inside Tong Gate in its northwest corner. The Mystic Fang adds the death element to Xiahou Yuan C6. Chang Liao's is the first weapon this episode found on an Extreme Legends stage, this one being Dong Chuo's side at Guandu. Once the towers appear I have to kill every archer on them before they blow up the castle wall. I equip the fire arrows to this one. The amount of soldiers makes it hard to do this quickly since whenever you get your aim down they swat you out of it. It takes a few deaths and half an hour to kill them all in time and spawn the item. The weapon appears in the northeast corner of the castle. Then another 20 minutes just to finish the stage. The Dragon God adds flame to Chang Liao's C5. At this point I take a detour to level my bodyguards, as I learn that they are very helpful for very hard modes. I put the difficulty on Novice and repeat the Mountain Bandit campaign. With it being a short stage, it's easy to help them survive to the end. You can choose which stats your bodyguards prioritise when levelling. I go for the custom one so I can pick and choose, but you can't max out every stat on a single bodyguard group. Another new thing added to Extreme Legends is a second colour palette for every character, like this Lu Bu in black, which is closer to how we look in later games. A few runs and the Shu bodyguards gain enough experience for a growth point. I can also use them on their class to promote them. With them slightly more durable I can take them to Runan so that they gain more points. Next 2 growth points I get go for another promotion and defense boost. Then defense again after the next run. I just need them to be able to soak up damage and take enemy attention from me. Next run I promote them to their highest class. Next time I get the BG Wind Scroll, which is apparently a super rare item, as in people who have played the game far longer than me haven't had it drop. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, I am very lucky. Apart from that I just keep throwing growth points into defense. By the time I have 4 Shu bodyguards at fighter title, Lu Bu has maxed out on points, so I move on to Diao Chan. The next point of defense maxes that stat out. After that I start alternating attack and life and Musou, which increase together. By the time I have 6 warriors, Diao Chan also maxes her points again, so I move on to using Dong Chuo. By the time I have over 70,000 points on them, I decide to get going again. Sima Yi next, on Wei's side of the original Hefei Castle. If strong bodyguards make very hard runs easier, then I hate to have seen what this would have been without them because this was miserable. I have to defeat, in order, Lu Xun, Lu Meng, Sun Shangshang and Gan Ning before the full scale attack message around 9 minutes in. This takes just under 2 hours total, and I'm glad I knew I could save by now because I really abused that feature. It takes me nearly 5 minutes to defeat Lu Xun, real world time not in game time. It was just under 3.5 minutes in game time. It takes me another 13 minutes to finally kill Lu Meng, 5.5 in-game minutes have passed since the start. I probably should have gone with 2-player Lu Xun, but I was worried the enemies fading out in 2-player would slow me down. And by this point I was halfway there, so I was committing to just using Sima Yi. Sun Shangxiang then takes me 27 minutes to defeat. I now have 2.5 in-game minutes to run to Gan Ning and take him out with. The whole time I am obsessively pausing to make sure I do it in time. Gan Ning takes 21 more minutes before he dies quickly enough. And I know I did it because the item appeared. Thank God it wasn't a supply unit. Thing is, I now have 1 billion enemies between me and it. After another 26 minutes dying on the way to it, I find the weapon to the southeast of the wind trap room. Then another 20 minutes throwing myself at Sun Quan until I finally get lucky and kill him too. I wish I could say that was the worst one. The Raven Feather has no element but grants Sima Yi the defender's effect. For Xu Huang it's the same as Xiahou Yuan. On the original Wei Tong Gate I have to trigger Han Sui's defection. The weapon will appear in the northeast corner of the map next to the gate. The Tiger Fang adds flame to Xu Huang's C6. Chang He's weapon can be found on the Extreme Legends Jia Ting on Yuan Shao's side. I have to defeat 6 officers in this order: Xu Chu, Xiahou Yuan, Chang Liao, Cao Chen, Dian Wei, and Xu Huang. The weapon appears a little southwest of Yuan Shao's HQ. The Phoenix Talon has no effect, but gives Chang He the Survival Guides effect. My BG Huang's bow is upgraded to +7. That leaves just Chen Ji's weapon for Wei. Hers is found on the Wei side of the original Guandu. This one is entirely luck based. I have to find Yuan Shao's supply depot on the 4th try, after finding 3 incorrect outposts first. So just a lot of saving and reloading until I get it right. It takes me 16 minutes to find it. After that I have to kill Chun Yu Chang to burn it down. The weapon is found inside the castle wall, north of the entrance. The Half Moon Flute gives Chen Ji's C4 the flame element. That's Wei done, now for Wu, starting with Cho Yu. His is on the original Wu territory stage on the Wu side. I have to kill Yu Yong before my forces divide. The weapon will then spawn after Tai Shi's defection. It appears next to a tent in the northwestern outpost. The Elder Moon gives Choyu C6 wind. Now for Lu Xun, finally being able to use his C4 for himself without having to babysit another character. His is on Wu's side of the original Yo Ting. I have to wait for the moment that Cho Fang is outed as an enemy spy without also killing either Cao Shu or Chang He on Wei's side. The item spawns south of the bridge leading to the north of the stage. The Flash Blade gives Lu Xun C6 wind, but I'm going to stick with his fourth weapon. I've had two quick ones in a row, so Taisha Se makes up for it with one that takes me an hour and a half. His is on Wu's original Hefei. Only one requirement: defeat Chang Liao after he ambushes the Wu HQ. Well, it takes 10 minutes for the ambush, at which point almost all my allies are dead. It takes me a further 10 minutes to defeat Chang Liao, spawning the weapon in front of Cao Cao's HQ. But I have all of his officers coming for me. It takes me another 12 minutes to break away and grab the weapon. But there's no time to race back to Sun Quan to fight off the soldiers. I'll just have to kill Cao Cao very quickly while he's surrounded by a load of soldiers. It takes me over an hour until I get lucky enough for that. The Tiger Wolf has no element but gives Taisha Se the effect of the Divine Helmet, another item I don't have yet. Sun Xiang has me going to the original Fan Castle on the Wu side. I have to defeat Guan Ping before the flood starts. The weapon appears on the northwest corner of the platform coming from the southern wall around the centre. The Dragon Chakram adds flame to Sun Xiang's C6. Sun Jian next and at the original Hefei Castle on Wu's side. This one has a lot of instructions and takes me an hour and a half. First I have to lead my unit into the castle through the northwest entrance. That involves taking out any officers between my soldiers and that entrance. I next have to lead them through the Hall of Arrows and the Wind Trap, then to the centre section where Chang He and Xu Huang guard the main gate. Once I take those two out and the gate opens, I have to run south and defeat Man Chong and Cao Rui. Those two alone took 17 minutes due to the sheer amount of soldiers here, but I'm still not done. It takes me another 14 minutes just to get to Shu Chu in the north and kill him. That will finally spawn the weapon. It appears in the southeast of the central courtyard. No element for the Wolf Blade, it just grants Sun Jian the effect of the buckler item. Now for Sun Quan. His is back on the original Hefei. I first have to kill Chang Liao before he can get Taisha Se killed. I next have to kill Shu Chu. The weapon spawns in the southwest area. The Heavenly Wolf is good. Like Lu Xun's fourth weapon, it also grants Sun Quan a Death Element C4. But now we're back to original Hefei Castle for the absolute worst one, Lu Meng's. This one took me 4 hours to accomplish. This is another one like Sun Jian's with a few objectives. This time I'm using Sun Quan with his 5th weapon's Death C4, because otherwise the soldiers would destroy the AI Sun Quan and fail me the stage. Step 1 is to kill Chang He and Xu Huang in the centre of the castle. It takes me nearly 15 minutes to even get inside the castle to fight them. Then a further 11 minutes just to kill Chang He without dying before I can save it. 12 more minutes to finally take down Xu Huang. Now for step 2. I have to trigger the Archer Ambush to make the stage a million times harder. Step 3 is to defeat Shu Chu. Not too bad, I kill him first try in only a couple minutes. The final step is to defeat Man Chong when he arrives with Cao Rui's reinforcements. That may not sound so bad with him being a generic officer, but Cao Rui's reinforcements are tough and there's a lot of them. And at one point I save at low health, so the first hit after reloading kills me. In total it takes me 48 minutes to defeat Man Chong. But then I die while looking for a safe place to save because my health was so low. That Archer Ambush is just the worst. I spend so much time running away and scrambling for health items, picking off 1 or 2 archers every so often. I think the other issue is enemies despawning while I fight them so that the game can handle 2 player. But I don't think I'd have been able to do this with Lu Meng anyway. Like here, when I have Man Chong in my Musou attack and the fucker decides to just stop existing temporarily. You know how long it took to get a second kill on Man Chong? An hour and 58 minutes. And then I die getting shot in the back looking for another safe place to save. Fuck them archers. 8 more minutes to kill him again, so a total of 2 hours and 54 minutes just to kill a generic officer. And for whatever reason, the report telling me of the weapon doesn't appear. So for a while, I'm shitting myself thinking I just wasted 3.5 hours. Every source I looked up says that Man Chong's death should spawn the item, but here the game waited until I also killed Cao Rui. The weapon appears in the southwest corner of the centre courtyard. At least I never have to do that again. This pulled me off using 2 player for the rest of the weapons, not that it means much when there's only 5 left. The Fighting Tiger has no element but grants Lu Meng the Musou armour effect. Thankfully, Gan Ning doesn't take anywhere near as long. It's my last time playing original Yiling on very hard, this time on Wu's side, and it's an easy objective. But first I spend a good 22 minutes wiping out all the officers in the east to stop Sun Quan being killed. I have to navigate through the Stone Warrior formation and then kill Zhuge Liang. The weapon appears just west of the Western Valley entrance. The Seven Seas blade adds wind to Gan Ning's C6. Huang Gai's 5th weapon is found on the Han side of the original Yellow Turban Rebellion. I have to kill He Yi and Chang Bao before any other officers. I can at least kill those two in either order. He Yi is first and only takes about 3 minutes. 4 minutes later I also take down Chang Bao. It then takes another 4 minutes for the reports to catch up and spawn the weapon. That's over half the time it took to fulfill the conditions. After about 15 minutes taking out the thousands of officers surrounding He Jin, I can finally grab it in the southeast corner. The spiked mace gives Huang Gai C4 lightning. Sun Ce's is found on the Wu side of the original surprise attack on Liu Biao. Another simple one. First I wait for Sun Jian's death in the rock slide, then I have to kill Cai Mao in the northeast. The weapon spawns in the camp north of the southwestern boat. Just under 20 minutes for that stage. The God of War adds lightning to Sun Ce's C6. Da Chao's is also found on the same stage as her husband, the surprise attack. She also has to wait for Sun Jian's death, but instead of Cai Mao I have to kill Kuai Liang. Her weapon also appears in a camp, this one north of the southeastern boat. The Yellow Beauty gives Da Chao's C4 a flame element. And then for Xiao Chao I have the quickest 5th weapon to get of them all. Like her sister, she finds hers on the same stage as her husband, the Wu side of the assault on Wu territory. I have to kill Yan Baihu in the southwest outpost and Wan Lang in the northeast one. The weapon appears in the northeast corner of the southeast outpost. Less than 10 minutes that one took. The Blue Grace has no element, but gives Xiao Chao the survival guides effect. And that's all the playable character's weapons obtained, and I never have to deal with very hard again, or so I think. Now for those missing items. First is the Divine Helm, found on Lu Bu's side at Extreme Chi. For this one I have to kill every single one of the officers, including the sub-officers and the reinforcements, which is a pain when the map does not show the location of sub-officers. But compared to Lu Meng's 5th weapon, it's nothing. The item appears by the southeastern gate. The Divine Helm prevents dizziness after being hit by a strong attack. Lu Xun also maxed out his points from this. The Shu bodyguards have maxed out on life and Musou, so now all that's left is to put the remaining points into attack. Next is the Imperial Harness, found on the Nanman side of Extreme Yo Ting. First I have to keep killing officers to trigger the ambush parties led by Gan Ning and Sun Shangxiang. I then have to kill Gan Ning and Sun Shangxiang before the east and west outposts fall. The item will then appear in the northwest corner of the stage near the gate. The Imperial Harness allows any horse to run over enemies like the Red Hare can, but it does not get the Red Hare's speed. Just stick with the Red Hare. My Shu bodyguards also max out on points. The Lightning Bow is next, found on the Yellow Turban side of Extreme Yi Ling. For this one I just have to not kill Huang Chong for 10 minutes, so I just hang out in my starting northeast corner and wait. A supply unit will appear in my corner after 10 minutes, so I kill them and take the item. The Lightning Bow allows me to shoot lightning arrows. There's a yellow flashing slot in the corner of my inventory, but we'll get to that later as next up is the Seal of Darkness. This one is found on Yuan Shao's side of Extreme Guandu. I changed my bodyguards to Wei ones, who already had a few points thanks to being set to the idle player 2 while I was getting those weapons, and now I can have them equip both so I can try to collect those. For this one I have to enter the castle for a cutscene where Yuan Shao discovers that Cao Cao is not there. This would lead into the scene where Cao Cao ambushes Wen Chou. The item appears around the centre north, east of the river. The Seal of Darkness doubles the effect time of the Imperial Seal item, from 10 seconds of Infinite Musou Bar to 20. My BG speed scroll is upgraded to +6. Next is the Divine Gauntlet, found on Dongchuo's side of Extreme Wuchang Plains. First I wait for my officer Fan Chou to die to trigger the arrival of Guan Yu. Then I have to kill Wei Yan, Guan Yu, Ma Chao, Chao Yun, Jiang Wei and Chang Fei. A supply unit will appear in the northwest near Liu Bei and will head for the southwestern gate. I kill the captain and take the item. The Divine Gauntlet makes it so that when I have an attack ×2 item, enemies still take damage when blocking. The last item to find inside a stage is the Legendary Scroll, found on Meng Huo's side of the Extreme Hefei Castle. I have to kill Zhuge Liang before the east and west gates open and the south gate closes. For this I have to take the northwestern way in through the traps. After that, killing Zhuge Liang is easy. The item spawns on the centre-south board. The Legendary Scroll makes it so that blocking enemies still take damage from my Musou attacks. I also gain the third bodyguard bow, the Gale Bow. The next few items are all found on Extreme Legends' new challenge mode. First we have Speed Demon, where I have to race to the finish line on Mount Dingjun. To get the item I have to beat Lu Bu's time of 90 seconds. I choose Lu Xun since he runs fast, but the main strategy is to swat Lu Bu off the Red Hare and steal it, and it takes a few attempts. But the only way to describe it is to show the successful one. I gained the Beast Harness, which shows the location of the last horse I rode on the map. Not worth it at all. This should have been a default feature, not something you unlock, and certainly not something that takes effort to unlock, and certainly not something that uses one of your 5 item slots where something actually useful could be. Next is the Balancing Act, where I fight on this narrow bridge in her Fey Castle and have to knock the enemies off. I have 10 minutes to beat Lu Bu's score of 100. This is easy, and I gain those 100 in just 6 minutes. I get 139 before I accidentally fall off with a minute and a half left. I gain the Master's Cloak, which makes me automatically do the mid-air evade so that I land on my feet. Third is the biggest pain in the arse, Combo Mania, in which I need to beat 1000 points. A new thing Extreme Legends did was add this combo counter and give you points at the end of one, and I have 3 minutes to build up those 1000. The strategy I looked up said to use Cho Yu, and then uses C3, C2 and then C4 strings, which should get you a combo worth 55 points. I still need to do that 20 times in less than 3 minutes though. Can't attack the next enemy too quick either or it won't count it as a new combo. It takes me about half an hour to just barely get it. The 7 stars blade makes combos last longer, so I have more time to build up points. Finally, we have the Iron Man, in which I have to play all 3 challenges back to back, with the aim being a combined 350 points based on my performance. I choose Chow Yun for this, with the intent to make up most of my points on the Balancing Act. I finished Speed Demon in 84 seconds, which gives me 340 of the needed 350 points right away. Now I can just mess around. 100 kills for another 100 points on Balancing Act, and 768 combo points for a final score of 568. For this I gain the final bodyguard item, the BG Healing Scroll, which allows a bodyguard to heal themselves once. That just leaves one last item, the flashing yellow icon, which I will obtain through grinding, so I get to maxing out the points of my characters and bodyguards. You know those combo points I mentioned? Well, there is a combo point bonus every time you complete a stage, and the game keeps track of how many total you've had since you've started. I need to get 12,000 combo points total. The final icon on the item list blinks blue when you reach 3,000, and at 6,000 it turns yellow like it is for me now. First, Dongchuo maxes out his points. As for the Wei bodyguards, I raise every bodyguard's stats the same way I did the Shu bodyguards. I gain the second bodyguard bow, the steel bow. That just leaves the 2 bodyguard crossbows to obtain. I keep trying different stages until an enemy drops the wind crossbow, the third one. Then in another run of Diao Chan's Escape, the steel crossbow. With that, that's all bodyguard weapons obtained as well. After that, all that remains is grinding. Sun Quan is maxed, Yuan Shao is maxed. The Wei bodyguards are maxed, so I next swap over to the Wu bodyguards. While working on Cho Yu, the blinking item icon turns red, which means I have 9,000 combo points. Cho Yu is maxed, Sun Ce is maxed. For some reason, my recording software changes resolution without me noticing, just as the Wu bodyguards are maxed. Must have been when I changed to the new computer. I swap over to the Royal bodyguards. Sun Shangxiang is maxed. While working on Ganning, I gain the 12,000 bonus points to obtain the Musou armor, which prevents me from being knocked back when hit by an arrow. And that there is every single item, weapon, bodyguard item and bodyguard weapon obtained in the game. It's at this point I learned that I'm not done with Very Hard mode, as there is an unlockable tied to completing Extreme Chur-B on Dongchuo's side on Very Hard as any character except Lu Bu. You know this one is special as it has its own unique music just for this difficulty. I've already covered this stage before, but now it's incredibly hard. I first try it as Cao Cao, but fail. I then try it as Gan Ning, but fail a couple times. I then just go back to Sun Quan. I first take on Lu Bu right away to get rid of him as soon as possible. He's wearing a new outfit never seen before in this game. After defeating Lu Bu, it's an eternity spent around Dong Chuo, protecting him from everyone approaching him. Once it's safe, about 25 minutes later, I can go and deal with Diao Chan. Completing the stage on very hard unlocks the costume for Lu Bu that he wears on that difficulty. I'm indifferent to it. It also lets me have my bodyguards wear white. Back to grinding. Gan Ning is maxed. The Royal Guards are maxed, with Chang Jiao being maxed in the very next fight. Meng Huo is maxed, Chu Rong is maxed, Fu Shi is maxed, Nua is maxed, Tai Shi Se is maxed, Sun Jian is maxed, Lu Meng is maxed, Huang Gai is maxed, Da Qiao is maxed, Xiao Qiao is maxed, Chao Yun is maxed, Guan Yu is maxed, Chang Fei is maxed, Zhuge Liang is maxed, Liu Bei is maxed, Ma Chao is maxed, Huang Chong is maxed, Jiang Wei is maxed, Wei Yan is maxed, Pang Tong is maxed, Xiahou Dun is maxed, Dian Wei is maxed, Shu Chu is maxed, Cao Cao is maxed, Xiahou Yuan is maxed, Chang Liao is maxed, Sima Yi is maxed, Xu Huang is maxed, Chang He is maxed, and finally, Chen Ji is maxed. For unlocking everything in the game, clearing all Musou modes and maxing out all characters and bodyguards, I unlock one more costume for Sun Shangxiang. Apparently it's her Dynasty Tactics costume. I don't know, I haven't played it. I like it more than Lu Bu's third costume at least. I also have the opening edit, in which, like Soul Calibur, I can change the characters that appear in the opening when you leave the game on the title screen. I do what came naturally to me, made every character Chang Jiao. 2 Chang Jiaos riding side by side, 2 Chang Jiaos dueling in the rain, 2 Chang Jiaos back to back while surrounded by soldiers. It is art. Finally, on the opening menu, if I hold the shoulder buttons and press X, it will play a secret ending cutscene that I'll let play over my final fours. Well, Extreme Legends is Dynasty Warriors 3, but more. It's nice to get those 7 new Musou modes and have them be more varied than the ones shared between characters from the same kingdom. Bodyguards are given some worth so you actually have a reason to care, and of course those 40 1/5 weapons add more replay value if you want even more to do, even if they can be absolute nightmares. In the end, the main thing holding it back from being ranked too far above the original version is the fact that you still need the original Dynasty Warriors 3 disc to access so much of the content, including most of the new weapons. It's a shame this game never had a definitive release with the original and Extreme Legends content available together. I have the feeling I'm going to be saying this a lot if I cover more Warriors games with these expansions. But in its current form, I can only rank it one spot above the original. This is now the longest project I've had on this channel, in terms of time spent playing the game. Started original DW3 in August 2022 and finished Extreme Legends in May 2023 with a combined 518 recording sessions, and of making the videos, started July 2023 and are finishing in January 2024. And in terms of video length, Final Fantasy IV had an equal amount of parts, but this will have a combined runtime hours above it. While I am proud to have completed the game with so much stuff that needed doing, I have had Dynasty Warriors 3 on the brain for nearly a year and a half now, and I think my mind needs some time away from the franchise. So expect Dynasty Warriors 4 later rather than sooner.